Art of Sports here with John Molina Jr. Here at Leo Santa Cruz's Fight Man Last Round Promotions. Tell us about, I was telling some friends of mine there's a fight card on Tuesday and people were kind of surprised, but I mean there's a good turnout here. I think it's a good difference, right, to kind of have a fight on a Tuesday?
It's a good scene. A lot of people in the house to support Leo and his promotional endeavors, and I think this is a good card. Red Catch, the main event, and it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, no, it's definitely, I think in the old days, when I say old days, we're not as old as the other guys, but in the 80s and whatnot, they did have fights on Mondays and Tuesdays and even Sundays. So it's a good, you know, with PBC putting all that back together, I think it should be good for boxing.
Obviously this weekend, man, everyone's anticipating a big fight, two Mexican fighters, Canelo versus Chavez. Just tell me about that fight. Break down the fight stylistically. How do you think their both styles are going to mesh in the ring?
Well, if it plays out the way the boxing experts see it playing out, Canelo's too athletic, he's too mobile, should be peppering him all night, because Chavez is going to be more of a I want to come at you and fight type of fighter. With that being said, I think Chavez Jr. is smart enough with Nacho to understand that's going to be the game plan, and they're going to prepare for it. Can he sustain the game plan? That's the big intrigue. We don't know if he can do that. But also the intrigue on the other side of the coin is Chavez Jr. is a real puncher. Canelo's never been hit by a man his size, and that's going to answer a lot. And if Canelo tends to fade like he normally does and slows down just enough where Chavez Jr. can land the punch, we're going to see if he belongs at that higher weight class.
I saw Canelo in San Diego for the media workout, and he's always been kind of a thick guy, but I feel like he's put on a little more muscle for this fight. Do you feel that's a good thing to try to kind of match Chavez's maybe strength inside, or you think he should kind of do just what works for him, being the smaller guy, being faster, using his feet, things like that?
Well, I think he's going to be what he's going to be, which is the more athletic, the more faster, mobile guy. But with that being said, if you're looking at the worst for wear, it's going to be Chavez Jr. because he's the guy having to come down. You know, it's always easier to go up than as opposed to come down as far as your body goes. With that being said, we're going to see what plays out, you know, so we'll see, man. That's the intrigue, and I can't wait to watch that fight. Again, it's can Canelo sustain his energy level to move mobile enough to stay away from Chavez, and can Chavez land his punch? That's the question. That's the fight in itself.
Well, what's your take on the whole weight thing? I mean, Canelo didn't want to move to 160 for Triple G. He's moving up to the super middleweight division for Chavez. What's your take on that whole?
I just think, you know, Chavez hit the nail on the head. He feels that Chavez Jr. is the less of a threat as opposed to Triple G, and he's very open about that, and probably rightfully so. Financially, as a business, it makes sense to test the waters with somebody that you feel you're far more athletic and less of a deadly puncher as opposed to Triple G, in his humble opinion. So as a business move, yeah, it's the right move, but you know, with Chavez Jr., it motivated him, and he kind of woke up the beast, if you will, and let's see if that motivates him to get out there and win the fight.
What's next for you, brother? We haven't seen you in the ring since Terrence Crawford.
Definitely. We're looking to get back in there in August. You know, right now I would definitely like to fight either Robert Guerrero. Yeah, I know that they're having problems with Brandon Rios, Victor Ortiz. Brandon Rios and Victor Ortiz. I would definitely love to fight Brandon Rios. Omar Figueroa is finally back. I know Joel Diaz wants to get one back at me for me beating him with Provodnikov. I think if Omar Figueroa finally mans up and says, hey, let's get an odd, that's a fight we've been wanting for years.
Yeah, I was going to say for a while.
He's not making 140. I know he thinks he's going to make 140. I'll fight him at 47. That's not an issue. So,
is that the weight class you're going to be at now, is 147?
I mean, with those guys, maybe I'll go to catchweight 44. I really don't see anyone at 40. Really, right now, I think everyone's at 47. I think I carry it well. If you look at me and someone like Thurman or Guerrero or Porter, we look the same out of camp. I think my body is set for that 47-pound. Again, I have a manager now, Heyman, who's going to take care of that for me. But with that being said, I think Guerrero, Figueroa, Brandon Rios, again, I think all three of those fights people will want to see.
I mean, the Guerrero fight, just when you mentioned it, it's instantly in my mind just said like fight of the year. Is that I don't see many roadblocks to that, right?
I don't see any roadblocks. We're both Al Heyman. Robert Guerrero, again, is a good friend of mine. There's no disrespect. It's just I'm in the game to challenge myself, and I see for a can't miss all action slugfest between Robert Guerrero and myself. We can do it in LA. We can do it in StubHub. We don't have to go anywhere. And that's a fight I'm really intrigued about, very excited about. And if Robert Guerrero is willing to get it on in August, let's get it on.
Well, as a boxing fan, I hope that happens, sir. Thanks a lot for your time, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you, brother.